Hi, everybody. Well, I got through with my final surgery, getting the port taken out of my chest, and I'm a little bit sore from that. Ugh. But I wanted to show you something that I made for Patrick because of the character that he plays in the campaign that we're running. Just inherited a dust bunny. And so I made him a life-size version of a dust bunny by the description given by Jane Ann Krentz in her uh, novels about harmony. Now, the only thing is that I didn't have a long enough fake fur because the dust bunnies their fur is so long that you really don't notice their legs and their feet very much if they're not running because you just but they've got 6 legs and 4 eyes. So this is Maverick. He is 18 inches long. I don't know if you can see the whole thing. He has a little bitty bunny tail on the back. And he's got the blue eyes are his eyes that are normally open. They're his I want to be friends with you kind of daylight eyes. And the amber colored eyes are the ones that he uses when he's in hunting mode. When all 4 eyes are open, he is in serious hunting mode. There's danger around. And when he's all slicked out like this, instead of being all fluffy and everything, then that's when he's getting ready to do some damage. And they say by the time you see the teeth, they are, it's too late because they got very sharp little teeth. And so how I made this one, I started out with aluminum craft wire, and I doubled the length for the spine, bent it over and twisted it so that it would have extra stability. And then I added the wires for the legs. And then after that, I covered the whole thing over with plastic grocery bags, took some aluminum foil and made a ball of it to begin the head, stuck that on the end of the wire for the spine, and then covered that over with grocery bag. And then after that, I added polyfill stuffing like you use for dolls. And then I covered it with this fake fur. Now, the fake fur is upcycled from a fake fur jacket I had. I have too many coats, so I decided I wanted to upcycle that one. And then the ears and the tongue are leather. And so that was how I made him. And he's fully posable because of because of the wire skeleton I gave him. And I didn't give him hands or paws because I really couldn't figure out how I was going to be able to do that because it's so little. And his front 2 paws are like hands. He can carry things in them. So, but this is Maverick. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, I got a couple of hauls coming in from Temu, and which is mostly journaling stuff. But yeah, I got a couple of hauls coming in. I'm going to do an actual junk journal, and I got a kit for that. I may also, before the end of the month, have a package coming in from Amazon. I haven't decided yet, but I was going to get a box of miniatures for D&D miniatures, type things, so that we could do start building a terrain. on a table, because we want to get into the more of the tactical aspects of gaming, as well as the role playing, so that it's easier to visualize it when you've got the monsters right there in front of you. You can see what you're going up against, and figure the distance is better. And so, yeah. So, the Timu that I've got coming in is journaling and some D&D miniatures and things like that for the game. I was really kind of upset with the people at the hospital yesterday after I got out of surgery, because I had to also that they go to the pharmacy and pick up some medications that had been prescribed for me, and I wanted to make it all in one trip. But after I got out of surgery, they were so intent on getting me downstairs to where the Uber car was going to be coming. They insisted on Patrick calling the Uber before we even attempted to do anything about the pharmacy, and wouldn't listen to either me or Patrick when we tried to tell them that, no, I have this to do first. And I didn't care if I was going to have to go down to the pharmacy in a wheelchair. It wasn't going to take me 5 minutes to get taking care of what I wanted to do. And but they insisted on him calling the Uber, and of course the Uber got there in like 3 minutes or so after he called, and they just wouldn't listen to either one of us. And I was really upset, because I don't like it when people don't listen when I'm trying to tell them something. And for them to not only totally disregard me, but disregard Patrick, who is not somebody that you take lightly when he speaks, because he's very quiet and he's very serious and very controlled. And neither one of us was, overly emotional when we were talking to these people. But when the nurse got me in the wheelchair and took me out to downstairs, where I met Patrick when we went out to the Uber, I was telling her, I don't understand why they did not listen to me. I had to go to the pharmacy and pick my medication up, and they just would not listen. And I wanted to wait till I got that done before I called the Uber, and they just weren't going to listen. I said, now I'm going to have to come back, make an extra trip back here. And I had wanted to get everything done today all in one trip, do a round trip. So we took the Uber home, called into Arby's and got some Reubens for lunch. And then after we had sat for an hour or two to, get our breath back from having to go up to the hospital, we went over, caught the bus, went up to the hospital, spent 5 minutes in the pharmacy, got my prescription, and called an Uber to go from the hospital to the grocery store, because I had to buy groceries this week. This was my time to buy the groceries. The first of the month I buy a week or two worth of groceries, and then the next time Patrick will buy groceries. But so we go to the store and then take another Uber home. Now, because the hospital didn't listen to us the first time, that meant I had an extra Uber ride out of the day. It should have only been, 2, and I ended up with 4. At the most, it would have been 3 if it hadn't been for the way that the hospital was acting. I just thought that was ridiculous that they weren't going to listen to me. But notice my skin color is coming back. I am so glad. You look at my arms, and this is the lightest my skin has ever been. I never get pale. And because of the cancer, I had lost so much of my skin color and melanin. it drained me. And so now, no more surgeries, no more back and forth to the hospital until June, not June, July. July is the next time I have a doctor's appointment. So I have 2 doctor's appointments in July, and then another one in October. And so then the only time I'm going to have to go back to the hospital now is to get refills on my script. So I'm basically done with the, having my life revolve around doctors and hospitals and how much cancer sucks. I'm free of the cancer. I'm going to stay free of the cancer. And the good Lord willing and the creek don't rise, this gal's got another 20 to 30 years before I can leave this world. And that's a good thing. Every day is a blessing. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. I hope everybody's having a really great month. And all my YouTubers. Oh, I'm still going to finish off my last 2 reborn dolls. And as soon as I've got them finished, I am going to show them off to you. I haven't completely... I'm not going to buy any more reborn dolls, but I do have my reborn dolls, and I do occasionally, I'm changing their clothes and letting Kathy Ann play with them, my little inside of me, because I have DID. And basically the reborn dolls serve 2 purposes. They help me get past the loss of my children, because I wasn't able to carry full term. And they also enabled my littles inside of me to be able to just be kids once in a while. When I had everything else done and I didn't have anybody else, people around, well, then they could play with the dolls and be happy. Just like the coloring books I've got are for them. But, and that's something you might hear me talking about now that I may be coming completely over here because TikTok may get banned in the United States. They passed it through Congress, and now it's if the president signs it, then they've got like a year before they've got to be pulled completely out, or they have to disassociate themselves from the Chinese company that is the head of the franchise that Temu is. So, not Temu, but TikTok. Excuse me. They don't have a problem with Temu. They got a problem with TikTok because they think TikTok is giving all this propaganda, which they're not. And they think that TikTok is spying on the people that are posting. I'm sorry, but the American government spies on us. Everything that we post on YouTube or Facebook or wherever, the government's keeping an eye on it. So, of course, it's just a way of censoring our free speech. But, hey, we have to deal with it. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Love y'all.